I think though we're so grateful now too, at least because there have been times where we did take things for granted. Like one of the times I can remember, at least for me, was when we got in that big argument when I was overseas, and I was like, I was trying to enjoy the time that I was having out there, but I was taking for granted the time that we had to spend together. And even though it wasn't physical, it was still like our time. And me not realizing that, or me trying to combat that, was, you know, it was taking that for granted. And it was like not being appreciative of you even wanting to talk to me at that moment. And whatever the case may be, because who knows what could have happened during that whole thing. So I think learning from that as well was like, okay, like every every moment, every time that we talk or do anything together is precious because we don't know what could happen after that. And we don't know the times that we would be separated, how long that would be as well. So yeah, I think that was one of the things that got me into gear, like, okay, no, like appreciate this.
For me, I feel like the Lord gave us an extreme on some real shit. So back in, I think it was when we go to when did we go to Seattle last year?
Last
Just
May.
last year. So last year we had our first sponsored trip, which was crazy, right? To even be sponsored anywhere. Anyways, we go to Seattle and we are hosted at this hotel where we have to, film stuff and shoot footage and all that and model all that stuff. Anyways, one of the nights we decided to go out and we're at this spot and we end up getting into an argument, right? Like, and again, like I told y'all, Trey and I will hash it out. Like, we gonna figure it out. It don't matter how long. It don't matter whatever. We're gonna hash it out. So we're really talking. We're talking it out, but also we don't. We're not the couple that like you can't really tell that we're arguing in public. It just seems like we're in like a deep conversation. We're not the couple that's gonna get loud or whatnot. Like we'll have movement, but it's not. I just want to clear that up. Like just anyways.
That's
So
us now, though.
yeah. Um, anyway, so we're talking it out, whatever. But we're both pretty irritated with each other, and so we end up leaving this place, and we call an Uber. Right? We get to the back of the Uber, and this lady is on the phone. Like she's like, "Hey y'all," and then she continues having a conversation. When she gets off, like we're kind of like, obviously we're not eavesdropping because she's having an open conversation, and we're in the back seat listening. And we're not sitting like this. It's just kind of like, it is what it is. We just, whatever. Come to find out, this woman's, I think it was like her sister or something. Her husband had like passed away, and it was random. And I think it was a big deal because I don't know if they were on good terms. It was something that had happened,
Mm.
and her man was gone like that. Y'all, when I tell you I y'all, we grabbed hands. My eyes was watering because then she ended up opening up and telling us a story. And I'm like, dang, like we was over here arguing like the next second is promised. And I could wake up tomorrow and you could be gone. And I know that that's an extreme, right? But on the realist, I feel like
Mm.
it's so easy to take one another for granted. And we have all these little small mishaps and whatnot. And you be sitting here acting like the next second is promised. And it's not. And I always think about that. And so people on the outside looking in, like you look at our social media and you judge us and say these type of things, but this is where I'm coming from now. It don't matter. I don't care what type of argument we have, what type of disagreement we have through the day. I'm gonna be right next to this man when it's time to lay down.
Hmm.
I'm going to forgive. I'm going to choose to forgive because again, the next second is not promised. And because I chose to do life with this man, I actually want to do life with this man. Like I actually want to do it. You know, like why allow all the little shit that is really ourselves to get into the way of what we're able to experience? Anyways, so I feel like for me, that is what holds me. That's that taught me about gratitude, like in the most extreme way. But I feel like I needed that, honestly, because again, I hold on to that story that is always in the back, the front, the side of my mind throughout every second of the day, and I carry that on to my children too. Like I love the relationship that I have with these people in this house. I want to make sure that I'm showing them that I appreciate them no matter what. I may not always like them. They may not always like me, but that's okay. But I'm going to make sure that they know at the end of the day that I am grateful for who they are in my life. Because again,
I think when you lose gratitude, that's when you start gravitating towards becoming roommates instead of partners and significant others and whatever your title is,
mhm,
whatever you claim. Because at that point, y'all separate yourselves for how many hours at a time or whatever the case. One person might go to sleep before the other. You don't see or talk to each other till the next day, and then y'all just go through y'all routines. It's never the time spent together, or maybe you'll set up a date once a week or whatever. But what about all that time in between? So, just when you got 24 hours in a day, you shouldn't only be spending 3 with the person you with. Like.
I feel like also gratitude will take you back to that dating feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're first dating with your partner, you're really grateful for everything. So it's this, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You sent a good morning text. Oh my goodness. Like you're sending all this stuff. And then I feel like then we reach a point to where we start expecting things. And we never stop to say thank you. Or we never be like, wow, I appreciate that. Or wow, you really didn't have to do that. Instead, it's like, wow, you didn't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you missed this. Wow.
And it could be people could stop doing stuff because of how you reacted when they did it. Like, oh, you weren't grateful when I did this. Why would I do it again? And it depends. Like, so, like, say a dude gets you flowers every time it's an occasion, and you're just like, oh, flowers, okay, cool. And then you put them to the side. Like, that dude's not going to get you flowers no more. Or, like, whatever the case, chocolates, what bears, like stuffed animals, whatever it is. Like,
The generics.
they're not going to want to do that. But you, as a person, you like that stuff and you expect it, but you're never thankful for it. Or however you treat that item after you get it, they're watching that stuff.